Hey YouTube, it's Steve. I wanted to show you something I picked up yesterday. This is the Disney sound source. It's essentially an external sound card for computers. It came out in the early 90s. It was touted as a cheap alternative to a Sound Blaster or one of the newfangled sound cards that were coming out at the time, and it was easy because it was external. So yes, you read this correctly. It's by Disney. It's actually based on the Kovacs speech thing, which is created by Kovacs in the late 1980s as a speech output thing. At the time, people were still using PC speakers for sound output, and this was the Kovacs speech thing was the first major sound card that could output speech. So essentially what Disney did is they took Kovacs' invention and made this. This is called the sound source. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but this has Mickey's head on it. In the middle here is a speaker, and here we have a volume knob. This is the sound source here. It has a headphone jack on the side, and that's pretty much it. This jack here is the input from the computer. I'll show you that in a second. So this is powered by a 9-volt battery, and according to the box itself, it says this should last approximately 4 months or something, but I mean that's probably because barely anything supported it. So it connects back here to this box here. As you see, that has Mickey on it too, and this is actually the circuit right here. It's simply a analog to digital circuit, so it just has a bunch of resistors and a DAC chip in it. So this connects to the parallel port of your computer, and then this phone cord plugs into the sound source itself. Here we go. Alright, so I was hoping that this would be a little more exciting than it is, but I could only get one thing to work with it. There weren't many games or programs made for it. The only things that really supported it were Wolfenstein 3D, a special version of Lemmings, and a couple trackers. But mostly it was used internally by Disney because it's their invention, so naturally they would use it. So this thing turns on automatically as soon as a program that can actually use it is run. So here I have it hooked up to my computer. This is actually my first computer, by the way. It's a Acer Aspire, and it has a 133 megahertz processor in it. Right now I have Windows 98 on it, but right now I'm booting into DOS mode. So the only thing I could get working with it was Wolfenstein 3D, so that's what I'm going to show you. So we're going to type Wolf 3D. So as you can see, now it turned on because I ran it. As you can see here, it says supported by Sound Blaster and Sound Source, because I have a Sound Blaster in the computer, of course. So the music isn't playing right now. That's because I have the music turned off. Let me turn that on. Right now it's set to PC speaker for the sound effects. I'll turn on the Sound Blaster, and then I'll set the music for the Sound Blaster. So strangely enough, the digitized sound includes like speech and uhs and things like that. If I have the sound source plugged in, the digitized sound won't come out of the Sound Blaster. So, like, even if I select the Sound Blaster, it's very strange. So if we go to New Game, the music you hear right now is coming from the Sound Blaster, not from these speakers here. So in this game, the only thing that the sound source actually does is sound effects. So that's actually coming out of that box right now. Let's see if I can try it. So all the digitized sound effects are coming out of the sound source. So let me turn down the music all the way so you can see that. Where's he at? There he is. But anyway, that's the extent that Wolfenstein 3D supports. It doesn't do any music or anything. Like I said, there are some trackers. If you know what tracker is, it's essentially a special version of... It's a kind of a version of MIDI that plays really good music. And trackers had solid software support for this. I downloaded one, but I couldn't get it to work, so I can't show you that. But this could have really, really good sound, depending on how good of a software was written to actually support it. But like I said, I can't get anything running. If I can figure out some sound later, I might upload a video. I think I'm gonna finish this today here, but this is the only thing, or I didn't see any videos of this on YouTube anywhere else, so this is the first one, I think. If you're interested in seeing more, I can try and get the music working later. Essentially, it sounds like polyphonic ringtones from what I hear. But yeah, that's the Disney sound source. If you have any questions, send them my way. Thanks.